Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This game has a parry, so it makes it into parry review. First thing I noticed is that they improved the iframes on the dodge, specifically when you do a single input of the dodge instead of when you do a double input. You now have more iframes, and it lets you stay engaged in the combat, which is something that I complained about in the first game. The parry seems to work more or less the same way. I haven't noticed many changes to the parry or any changes at all. I'm playing in Grandmaster difficulty, which from my understanding is the hardest difficulty. It's a tight window, but it's doable. You can parry. What I'm confused about is the iframes. I know that during the initial parry, when you deflect the attack, you have iframes. But for the reprisal, for the counterattack, in some instances I had iframes, and in others I did not, and I took damage. So you're gonna see in further footage, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Deflecting blasters is also a little bit harder in this game than it was in the last. In the last game, if there were like a few blaster shots coming at you, you could like press parry, with like good timing, and you would deflect both blasters. My theory as to why now you deflect one blaster shot and then you might get hit by the second one. Not get hit, but you'll block it and it'll drain your block stamina. I think they did that because there's a skill that lets you deflect 2 blaster shots with a single parry, and I think that's why. I mean, I'm not sure, but that's my theory, because of this new skill they added. So they kind of make it harder, right? So until you buy that skill, deflecting, this is my theory, right? Deflecting is gonna be harder. Deflecting the blasters, I mean. You can skip cutscenes now, so try and imagine how many players complained about the first game, you not being able to skip cutscenes. Like, people like to act like I'm the only person in the world that skips cutscenes. Dude, I watch cutscenes on YouTube while I eat breakfast. Like God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. The first time I ever saw the cutscenes was years ago on YouTube while I eat breakfast or lunch, whatever. So finally, after EA decided to actually listen to their fan base, they added skipping cutscenes to this game. Oh, but in the options menu, if you enable being able to skip cutscenes, it says like, well, you'll be able to skip cutscenes, but this will negatively affect player immersion in the story. Who cares? Who cares? Just let me skip the cutscenes. Jesus Christ. The other thing I noticed is movement and traversal is smoother now. It just feels better to like jump, and when you latch on, when you grab a ledge, it just feels better. It's not as janky as it was in the last game, which is great. You know, good for them. Good for them improving on these things. I've read online also that some people don't like the story in this game. I could care less. This is parry review. We review the combat, and so far, even though there's not like any major differences between the first game and the second one, they did improve some things from the combat. So I would say that the combat in this game is a little bit better than in Fallen Order, but I mean it's not like a huge difference, but it's noticeable. You know, I would say the combat in this game is better. It's more polished. Here's where you can best see that you do have iframes in the initial parry of parrying attacks. But again, what I'm not sure of, some counterattacks have iframes, others don't. It's confusing. So the previous game that I reviewed was God of War Ragnarok, and something that Ragnarok and Jedi Survivor have in common is that these two games are freaking huge. How is it that Ghost of Tsushima is only like 60 gigabytes or around that, but Jedi Survivor and God of War Ragnarok are larger than 110 gigabytes. Like, what is this? Why do you need? Is this Activision? Did these games turn into Call of Duty? What is this? It makes a little bit of sense for God of War because then they added that huge DLC Valhalla. So I don't know how big it was before Valhalla, but this game, Jedi Survivor? Why specifically this? I mean, God of War 2, but specifically this game. Why is it so huge? Why is this such a huge game file? What does it have? Does it have diamonds in it? What is it? What the fuck? So something interesting, this is the first stage of the game, right? And for the boss battle, halfway through the boss battle, they give you the dual-wielding lightsabers, not the staff, you know, the one where you have a lightsaber in each hand, the dual-wielding one. And I like it that they gave it to you early in the game because waiting for cool stuff like that is kind of stupid. There is, however, this new skill, like this focus parry thing, where you go into like, it looks like a Jedi meditation sort of thing, and he just floats, the lightsaber floats, and then he does like this parry. So that skill, apparently what it does is that it'll parry anything that comes into contact with you. While you're in that meditation state, you will automatically parry. And I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it's cool that you get like a free parry, but it also feels kind of, I don't even want to use the word cheap, but this is also the same feeling I had for Lies of P. There's a grindstone, the purple grindstone, the one that when you grind your sword on it, every block you do is an automatic parry. And I mean, that's good for players that need it, but maybe it shouldn't even be in the game at all. The only reason I'm saying this is because this is parry reviews, and we are parry snobs here. Right? I mean, here in parry reviews, we live and die for the parry. You know, we're about that. We're about that. Here you can see Cal Kestis wielding the double blades, the double lightsabers. You know, during this fight with the Ninth Sister, there's this bullshit that happens where she enters like this Sith meditation shit and you can't hit her at all because she makes things like blurry and shit. This thing right here. See, you can't hit her. What the fuck is this? What is this shit? Am I just not a pro gamer enough that I don't know what to do, and then I have to go on the internet and research how it is that I hit her when she does this? But I don't know. It just feels stupid and annoying. You know, it just feels like, hey, this is the phase of the fight where you can't do anything, so just wait it out. Why? Why do game developers do these things for boss fights? Like, what? What's the point? What do you gain? But whatever. I don't know what else I can say about this game. So, I don't remember what score I gave the last game. But let's go this game like a 6.5 on the parry metric and a 7 on the fun and enjoyment scale. So thanks for watching, take care, and enjoy.